Hey, what's up, students? I wanted to go over some lesson 9 help. We got some vertical angles, some x's and some y's, and then solving using substitution. So you've been doing this for a while, but the thing that makes these ones tricky is that there's x and y values. So some information that you probably need to use anytime you make vertical angles, the opposite angles are equal. And then also remember, any side-by-sides are going to add to 180 degrees. So here's what I would do to attack these. I'm going to start by writing down things I know. Well, what do I know? I know that these angles right here are going to equal each other. All right, so I'm going to write that down. Y equals 2x. All right. Now, we can't really do anything because we have combinations of x and y. So what we need to do is we need to try to substitute so we can have two angles that just have x or just have y. So watch what I do here, friends. If I know that y equals 2x, I can substitute 2x in for y right there. All right. So what I'm going to do here, I'm going to go ahead and write it out. I'll explain what I'm doing here. So y equals 2x. That means 2x can go in for y. I'll do the rewrite over here. X plus 2x plus 25. The reason I'm doing the rewrite is because these angles are equal to each other. So if I take the if I take the y out and I put the 2x in, that is no different than if I said, hey, y equals a number. If y equals a number, you'd put the number in for y, but y equals stuff. So in this case, you're going to put the stuff in for y. So this is going to lead to a rewrite. So I'm going to go ahead and erase this. I'm going to rewrite. X plus 2x would be 3x. Okay. So again, these angles are equal to each other. That's why I did the rewrite over here. You could also rewrite it over here as 3x plus 25 over here. Doesn't really matter. All right, so I substituted. The whole reason I did this is so I can get some side-by-side angles, some adjacent angles that make 180. I want to get them to have the same variable because if they have the same variable, I can then solve for that lone same variable. So let's go ahead and do that. So these two angles right here are going to equal 180 degrees if I add them. So I'm going to go ahead and write that out. 2x, the top angle, plus 3x plus the 25 is going to equal 180. Again, why? Because it's a linear pair. It makes a straight line. These two angles are going to add to 180. All right, let's do some algebra here. I'm going to subtract the 25 from both sides. And at the same time, combine the like terms. 2x and a 3x is a 5x. So I'm going to do that right there. That's going to equal 155. Divide both sides by 5. X is going to equal 31. All right, so I'm just starting to get this snowball rolling here. Now, these questions could ask anything. They could ask for the x value. They could ask for the y value. They could ask for any of the four angles. So I go ahead and I find everything. That way I can answer any question that might happen. Okay, x equals 31. So there's one piece to my puzzle. Just like I substituted y equals 2x, now that I have x, I can substitute 31 anywhere I want. How about I substitute it in right there? That seems to be the most nicest x value. I'm totally making up words, but that's okay. So I'm going to plug it in for the x value right here. So here we go. 2 times 31 equals 62. Okay, so I have the top angle. The top angle is 62 degrees. All right, so I got that locked in. The top angle is 62. The bottom angle is 62 degrees, which is what y equals. So I could also say, hey, y equals 62. So I have both x and I have both y, if you need to find either of those. Once you have the top and the bottom angle, remember any side-by-sides add to 180. So if you have this top angle, you can find the side angle right here. Let's do that right here. So if I have 180 total and I know one of the angles is 62, the other angle has got to be 118. All right, cool. So this side angle is 118 degrees. Highlight the angles here so that way all this stuff can kind of not super duper overlap with each other. There we go, 62, 62, and you got to be 118 degrees. All right. I could, if I wanted to, I could also plug in 31 right here and go 3 times 31 plus 25. I'm pretty sure I'd get 118. But that's the process, students, all right? You want to try to isolate a variable, one of them. It could be x, it could be y. In this case, y was already kind of isolated. This single y equal 2x, okay? If a single y equals 2x, substitute the 2x in for y, do a quick rewrite. Once you have some side-by-sides with the same variable, you can make a two-step equation using a linear pair. Any side-by-sides add to 180. So then from here, it's just algebra, friends. You combine the like terms, subtract the number, one step, two step. Once you have x, the rest of it almost does itself. X equals 31. Plug 31 anywhere you find x. Once you find one of the angles, you can find the other two because, again, linear pair. And then you can solve both x and y. Once you have x, you can also find y. It depends. Sometimes you have to find y first. Sometimes you have to find one of the angles first. It just kind of depends on what you have. So I'll do another one of these coming up next, but this is how to do vertical angles with both x and y and substitution.